Jack says or asks, who's going to fill the big time edge role? We need more than 20 sacks in the Big Ten.
Yeah, obviously, and we've talked about it before. I think Garret Nelson leads that charge. I think he steps up and becomes that pass rusher that every Saturday is the guy highlighted there, on players to watch on both sides of the ball before the game starts. I think that he's got that ability. He's definitely got the attitude and the want to be that guy. And I think he knows now that it's his turn to step up. It's his time. He grew up dreaming about being a Husker, growing up in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, and that dream came true. And he's one hell of a football player, I can tell you that. He's one of a kind. You don't see many guys like that. If I had to compare him to somebody, it would probably be Dick Butkus. That's just the kind of attitude that Garret Nelson plays with. And then you got younger guys there that you haven't got to see get much of a chance yet. I'm curious to see what Tate Wildeman does, given the chance, because he was that kind of player in high school as well. I went and watched him play out in Colorado when he was a senior in high school, and he was tearing it up as a defensive end. He was a monster, and just he's been sitting behind people since he got here, and now he's going to get a chance to become a leader too. So I look at those two guys to start stepping things up, and whatever we see here in spring, I'll have a lot better idea then when I kind of can take a look at the rotation of who they're using there. Because remember, Mike Dawson is sliding into that defensive line coach position. And you've lost a lot of guys off of last year's defensive line. Obviously, losing Coach Tony Tuioti makes a big difference. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly who they have working out where here when spring camp opens up here in a few weeks.
Garret Nelson is coming off a season with 57 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and coming off a sophomore season. So that was the COVID year. So he had a 2019, 2020, and 2021, but this is just going to be his junior year technically. Unless, of course, he has a big year and he could move on from there, but we shall see.
He's not a guy. He's not one of those guys that's looking to move on. I think he wants to do everything possible he can for this program, and if that means waiting an extra year to play on Sundays, he's the kind of guy that he puts everything into his school and his coaches. So, yeah, I expect him to use his full time here.
Samuel's been checking out the interviews that you guys have been posting there and wants to know if they're NIL related.
Yeah. Sam, we talked about this last week. I know there were some comments about that too. And yeah, Sean's doing a great job with that stuff. Yes, it definitely is. It is completely NIL related. We have ourselves, Husker Online has an exclusive partnership with ABM, which is Athletes Branding and Marketing LLC, which is headed by Jared Lambrick, who is Coach Frost's former chief of staff. And a lot of people think that Jared left the program because Trev Alberts came in and forced him out, and no, that's completely false. Jared knew all about NIL, had it figured out from day one, and this was his plan. And he is the one who's making NIL go, especially for the men's basketball and the men's football programs, but also he's involved with the volleyball program as well. So everything is funneled towards Husker Online, and obviously we have the facilities to pull this off as well. But actually, Sean's doing most of this from his basement. So yeah, uh, we're the ones with the abilities to do this. We're the ones that have the relationships with this. And unfortunately, our competitors are left hanging because Husker Online was first to the table on this. We knew it was coming when we found out all about NIL becoming a thing. We're the ones hooked into it all. And, the sponsors for all this, Husker Online is not making money off of this. The kids are the ones that make all the money off of this. The boosters and the supporters of the program are the ones that put up the money for this, the sponsors. And they're not looking for return either. They're putting money into the program for the kids. This is all for the kids. So, when these guys now have an opportunity to make money, it spearheads the whole recruiting process of things that you can offer players to, you can come here, you can make a lot of money on the side with all the NIL possibilities that you have. So yeah, we're completely locked in with this, and we're very lucky that we have the relationships that we do with the football program and all those other entities involved with the football program, and that's why Husker Online is the leader in Nebraska football coverage. Period, hands down. And I know, and to add on to that, Sean has it. Every single transfer, every single incoming freshman, we've either interviewed or we will be interviewing. Sean's every week is filled up. He's doing at least one every day. So yeah, it's cool stuff, and you learn a lot. You get to know these guys before they even play a snap here. So pretty cool deal the way NIL has kind of worked out.